Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. In this video, we are going to talk about how to connect your Swagger with your Spring Boot project. So if you would have seen my previous video, there I have explained how to create a Swagger, why we use Swagger, and what are the different syntaxes to create a Swagger. So I hope you are aware about Swagger, but if the people who are new to this video, let me tell you, Swagger is a model. Swagger is a way to know your features of your API. Features of the API, like what are the fields, what are the start URL, what are the security headers, what are the responses the API should be giving. So I can say as a business view. But if I talk about the usage in the project, so Swagger is also used to generate models in your project. Okay, so in most of the in the recent like earlier, what we used to do is we manually create Pojo classes. Pojo classes like models to receive the data from the APIs which are coming from UI. So now what we are doing is we are using Swaggers to generate the model. Now, why we are using Swaggers to generate the model is the first question. So the answer to that question is we are using Swagger to generate model. It allows user to remove all the errors. What type of error I could say is whenever you create any model, whenever you receive any data from UI in the form of JSON or anything, Excel or query params. So there we put some validations like null, not null, the size, the type. So what happened is when you have a huge amount of data, suppose you have a lot of complex JSON, and so for the complex JSON, you would be receiving that in some classes. Okay, so there it becomes an issue to check the size of each, because at there we use the regex expressions in the classes to receive those things. So what we have done is in a single Swagger, you can you can generate, like let me show you. So where I keep the Swagger, so you can keep your Swagger in SRC main resources. You can create folder of your name. So yeah, so if anybody who has seen my previous video, so in the previous video I have created the Swagger. Okay, so it's just a very small Swagger. Based on a requirement, you can create a different, like multiple API paths. So just for example, I just created one path to let you understand all the things. So so this is my Swagger. So if you see these all like there are whenever you create a Swagger, so there are some parameters like what are the responses in the response, what should be the size of data, and what are the multiple types of responses, so all models and all. So it becomes very easy to get everything in just one place. So anytime when you try to create your Swagger, what you can do is you can just go and open the Swagger in your Swagger editor, and you can just keep a view of what is the size and what is the length of the like suppose let me show you like key size. So key size here I set as a 7. Okay, so I can just go through my Swagger and revalidate the things. So that is the usage of Swagger and why I prefer everyone to use a Swagger. So let me tell you how to integrate a Swagger. If you wanted to integrate the Swagger, you have to use some dependencies. So let me go to the POM file. Okay, so let me just search it. So, the dependency I added. Okay, so for Swagger, I added following dependency. I added the Swagger annotation dependency and io.swagger dependency. The versions you can see, you can just take the latest version from MVN repositories. So I just added these dependencies for Swagger. Now the second question arises is when your project start building, how the models get generated. So you need to specify the path. Okay, so where I have specified the path is you need to add this. Okay, so how I added this? So you have a plugin section. So in the plugins, I have added one plugin for the Swagger code generator. So I'm generating the models using a code gen. So you can use any of the way. I just use the Swagger code gen to generate the model. So you can provide the group artifact and the version. Then what you can do is you can provide the execution environment. So here I just provided one execution. For one execution, what I did is, if you come and see the syntaxes, let me show you. I provided the project-based directory path followed by my SRC, main, resources, Swagger, B2B checkout, retry limit. So let me tell you, this path is very important. When you don't specify this path correctly, so your models will not get generated and it will show you various types of error which you can see it in your console. Okay, so language, then you need to provide output as a target, then generated API test, generated supported file, then generate APIs, generate models, model package. Now, this is also very, very important. So earlier, what we used to do is we used to manually create. Let me show you one manual model that I created. So let me show you like this. We used to create a manual class. We create a public class album request, and this is manually created. And let me show you how I created the models using Swagger. So you will be able to see the differences. Okay, so this was manually created, and let me show you downloads. Okay, there is my project sample. Mm, com, example, sample, model, and let me show you one. So this model is created using Swagger. See the magic. Just see it. You don't need to do anything. You don't need to write anything. You just need to write your Swagger and all the models get auto-generated. So this is the magic of the Swagger. So yeah, so where were we? Yeah, so this is why that's why I told you guys this is very important. Let me my bomb. Yeah, so you need to check the model package. So model package you can set as per your package which you created. Like if you created for your package like com example sample dot model, so there you can specify it. Now the config options like source folder will be my generated sources, use bean validation true, and data library Java 8. So you just need to provide this. Once you added these things, these feature, okay, so added this feature, these part are done. And then what you are, your POM dependency is completed. You specify the Swagger here and let me build this project. Hmm. Let me show you. Just see in the console how your models. So how you can check your models are getting generated or not. So if you see when build gets started, okay, see it's open. That's why it got failed. Just close it. Obviously, it will not run because you're one of your file. So Maven build, you just need to do it. I just specified and skipped the test cases. Let me run it. See, Swagger code gen, Maven plugin 3.0.33 generated. Output directory doesn't exist or inaccessible, but if you just keep on saying writing the files. So here all my files got generated. So let me show you one of it, how it got. So which models got generated? Error, error response, limit request, and limit response. So just let me show you one of my Swagger. Okay, limit request. So this, let's go with this. So in the limit request, I just provided one field called key. Okay, so one field I just provided with the key, and let me show you. See, right now it's empty. So how you can access where it got generated is you need to go to the sample target generated sources since we provided the path generated sources model, and then let me show you limit request. If you see limit request type is key, see the models got generated with the key. And can you see the regex pattern? I just provided the Regis pattern here. In this, what was the Regis pattern was it should acceptable only 7 characters. So here it accepts only 7 characters. So same way, whatever model you specify here in the schema section, the models will get generated. Okay, so see, this is so easy. Now your question arises, when the model get generated and when I'm trying to use in a project, how could I do that? So how can I configure that and how I can use in my project? So let me show you. I have imported this one of this limit request. So if you see it's coming as error could not be resolved, something like that. Okay, so let me import this. You just need to specify this. And in some of the STS, you will get this error that this is not identified. But when you try to build your project, this error will get resolved. So what you need to do, one more step is you need to configure. Let me show you. You need to go to the build path, configure build path. In the class path, you need to specify this target. Let me delete this and show you. Class path. Okay. So where I went to the sample, go to the sample, target. So what I provided the target. Let me close this. Sorry. Go once back. Sample, target, select the entire folder. So you just need to apply and close. You just need to do that. And when you try to click on this limit request, it will try to show you as import that specific module in your project. So if you see this limit request doesn't exist anywhere in my model. Let me show you. See, this limit request, if you see it's not there, it cannot be visible, but it's got generated through your Swagger code gen. So when you try to build your project, it doesn't show you any error because there is no error in that because it's generated and it has provided and we have provided to your class path. So thank you for watching this video. I hope you like this video. And if you really like this video, please subscribe to my channel. Thank you.